Listen, they lying to y'all, they playing with y'all, and they manipulating y'all, and I'm sick of it. Desi. I'm a makeup artist in Detroit. I go by the Makeup Slayer. Make sure you follow my Instagram. But I also specialize in spirituality.
Look at what she did. How's she doing?
And a lot of people ask me, how do you start a spiritual journey? Literally, there's no specific step on how to start a spiritual journey. Like, once you start to have questions and you want to look further into things and you start researching, you already started. You know what I'm saying? But what I will tell you are a few things that I think will aid you in your spiritual journey. So if you want to see what tips I have for you, just keep watching. I know spirituality is a trend right now, which is not a bad thing. I'm not complaining about that. But I don't want you guys to get too caught up in the aesthetic. Like, you really have to know what you're doing. Because the thing about spirituality, certain things that you tap into might open you up to the spiritual world. And when you're open to the spiritual world, you're not just open to positive spirits, you're also open to negative spirits. And if you don't know how to handle negative spirits when you come in contact with them, you might have a problem on your hands. You know what I'm saying? So don't just do things because they look cool. You have to really know what you're doing. If you have to ask somebody for assistance, then you do that. We get into this trap where we think we have to get all of these things, we have to get all of these crystals and all this other kind of stuff to get the things that we want. But the thing is, everything is internal. Think of your spiritual journey as like an actual journey. So you're the driver, of course, of the car, and then your tools and stuff are like the gas. The gas is going to help the car move. But don't forget that you're the one that has to put your foot on the pedal for the car to move at all. And even if you don't want to take the car, you can still get out and walk. Even on my channel, I want to focus more on the mental side of magic before I go into all of that. Because if you don't understand how to do things mentally, you're not going to be able to do things at all. When we're stressed out, it's usually coming from us dwelling on something in the future that hasn't even happened yet, or something in the past that we can't do anything about. So bringing yourself back to the present moment is always a good reset to get rid of all of the stress, because the present moment is really the only thing we can control. Everything in the present moment is creating your future. The past means nothing. You learn from the past. In my personal spiritual journey, like, I would learn something and then I'll be thinking like, oh, this is right. And then I'll learn something else and I'll be like, oh no, that's not right. This is right. Then I'll learn something else and I'll be like, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get attached to answers. I feel like the best thing is to keep an open mind and always be a student. The universe is so infinite and there's so many different perspectives, and you know, you never know all of the answers. So I feel like the best way to learn is to be open to multiple perspectives in any situation. Our minds create our reality. If you're not happy with your reality, then there's some work that needs to be done. Any area of your life that's not working out the way you want it to work out, there's work to be done. Like, that's a clear sign that there's work to be done. When you talk to people, when you get triggered by things that they say, there's work to be done. Instead of trying to put the blame on everything else. Like, use everything as a progress report, if you will. You can't say that you figured it all out, but then you don't have the life that you want. Like me, I haven't figured everything out because I don't have the life that I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all are on this journey together. People find it hard to come to grips with the fact that we create the world around us with our thoughts, right? It's easy when it comes to like manifesting things, but once it goes into things that we don't think was our fault, y'all don't want to feel like y'all created that. Now, granted, with other people creating their worlds, all of our worlds have to intertwine, but that's a whole other video. But for the most part, you create the world around you. Taking accountability, it hurts at first. It does hurt, but it brings you so much power, because once you learn how to figure out the part that you played in all of the situations that you're not okay with, you know how to change them. You bring the power to yourself, because if you're blaming everybody else for things that happen, you're giving your power away. The thing that I got caught up in when I first started my spiritual journey was positive vibes only, but that's not realistic. You're never going to get to a point in life where you're all positive. Like, we all have flaws. We all have a shadow side. So instead of trying to get rid of them when they're never going away anyway, why not get comfortable with them? I feel like I've learned to be more comfortable with myself from being comfortable with my negative feelings. I feel like I learned self-love from embracing my insecurities. I feel like I learned to embrace love by embracing heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take one half of everything. You can't take the good parts of everything. You have to take the good and the bad and learn how to deal with them both, or you'll never truly experience them. I feel like you shouldn't be dictated by rules in your spiritual journey. However, there are certain things that you should be aware of that may affect the energetic alignment of things that you're trying to do. I don't believe in rules, but I do understand that there are certain things that affect the energy. Full moons and new moons. New moons are about setting intention. Full moons are about releasing things. So I wouldn't do like, I mean, it could work. I'm not saying it couldn't work, because I feel like it's all about intention. But I personally wouldn't do a money spell or anything during the full moon, because I don't want to release the money. I wouldn't do a ritual to release my ex on the new moon, because it's like setting intentions. You know what I'm saying? I would learn the energy of each day of the week if you're going to do like spells and things. Like, if you're going to do a money spell, it's probably best to do it on a Thursday. If you're going to do a love spell, it's probably best to do it on a Friday. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is about manipulating energy. So I would learn the energetic vibration of things, but I wouldn't necessarily subscribe to certain human rules, if you get what I'm saying. Intention is literally everything when it comes to spirituality. This is kind of why I always tell people not to do certain types of love spells that go against people's free will. You have to think about what energy are you in when you're doing a love spell. That is an energy of desperation. And when you're And an energy of desperation, that's a low vibration. And if you do a spell while putting low vibrational intentions into it, what do you think you're going to get in return? Low vibrational results. Like, intention establishes the vibration of anything. I feel like that's one of the things that mess people up when they do spells, and then they're like, oh my God, it's not working. Your intentions were probably in the wrong place, honestly. When you learn things, educate people who want to be educated. I feel like too many people learn things in spirituality and then they want to belittle people. That's low vibrational. I feel like everybody wants to stop at the third eye. The third eye is like self-awareness, but everybody just stops there. They don't realize the crown chakra. That's the oneness of everything. When you realize everything is interconnected, you are not above anyone. Everybody is on the same level. There is no hierarchy. That's an ego-based thought process. We don't learn things to put ourselves above other people. We learn things to enlighten other people who want to be enlightened, because you cannot force people to go through a spiritual journey. Because if you want to be honest, it's not fun. So if people want to live in ignorance and bliss and follow things that make them happy, let them do that. Like, this journey is not for everybody. Some people are never going to wake up, and that's something you have to learn to be okay with. Spiritual leaders have flaws. You cannot don't even look to me. I don't have all the answers in life. I don't. I'm just gonna tell you what I know. But any spiritual leader that you listen to, they have flaws just like you. Stop looking to them to be perfect. They have ego. They have their own agendas. You know what I'm saying? So you have to stop looking at the messengers as perfection. And that's how people get caught up spending all their money on spiritual advisors and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people like to criticize churches about people spending all their money in tithes and stuff like that, but what's the difference between that and y'all giving all your money to people who reading y'all over and over again and not, telling y'all what to do, telling y'all how to do things on your own? They keep you coming back so they can keep making money. Like, there's so many predators out here. People see your desperation. People see your desperation and they prey on that. They make money off of that. I just want y'all to understand that there's nobody out here that can go on your spiritual journey for you. My whole point of my channel, I'm not trying to do the work for y'all. Like, my channel is not for people who don't want to do the work. I'm not going to give you fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish, if you get what I'm saying. So stop being bamboozled by these people who are making money off of your spiritual desperation. And I'm going to help you with that. So if you guys want to learn how to take control of your own spiritual journey, just hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and I'm going to teach you how to get yourself together, honey.